The John Bunyan Museum in Bedford boasts a number of artefacts that are said to have belonged to John Bunyan or have connections with his life. Among the earliest of these is the tinker's anvil, or brazier's spike, a piece of roughly shaped iron that has survived over 370 years and has an interesting history. In 1647, following the English Civil War, John Bunyan, now aged 19, was demobilised from the army and, returning to the family home at Harrowden, just south of Bedford, resumed his civilian life in his father's business as a tinker or tinsmith. His anvil appears to have been produced at this time. Weighing some 60 pounds or just over 27 kilograms, it was some 2 foot long with a spike at one end and a flat top at the other. The spike could be thrown into soft ground, giving John a portable workbench wherever his trade led him. Bunyan, as a roving tinker, probably carried this implement on his back, along with other heavy objects such as hammers, chisels and the like, as well as sheet metal and solder, a considerable weight. To distinguish it, Bunyan inscribed his name, spelt with a letter V rather than a U, on one face of the shaft, and this inscription is still clearly visible today on one of the four sides. Further inscriptions, all carved out using a hammer and cold chisel, appear on two further sides. 1647, denoting the year it was made, and on a third face, Helstow appears. Helstow was derived from the medieval Helenstow, the seat of St Helen, which was gradually abbreviated to the village name of today, Elstow. Our story now moves forward to the early 20th century, when in 1905 the anvil was discovered lying in a scrap metal dealer's in St Neots, Cambridgeshire. It subsequently found its way to a London sale room, where it was purchased by the late Sir Robert Lester Harmsworth. Baronet Harmsworth, a Liberal MP and member for Caithness during the Edwardian period, was an avid collector and built a notable collection of Bunyan memorabilia, along with a renowned library of Bunyan's books that included several first editions. In 1933, 5 years before his death, he presented the anvil, along with Bunyan's metal violin, to the trustees of Bunyan Meeting, Bedford. The same year, details as to the authenticity were published in Apollo, an antiques journal of the arts, by former Bunyan scholar Frank Mott Harrison. When the trustees of Bunyan Meeting commissioned the original museum, the anvil was displayed horizontally on a specially made frame that displayed its full features and length. Today, it is displayed in the museum in a manner that clearly portrays its original purpose, complete with an accompanying mannequin depicting the young tinker with a hammer in hand plying his trade. Could Bunyan have this very anvil in mind as he describes the pivotal scene in the Pilgrim's Progress, where the pilgrim senses the loss of his burden of sin at the cross of Jesus? Up this way, therefore, did burdened Christian run, not without great difficulty, because of the load on his back. He ran thus till he came at a place somewhat ascending, and upon that place stood a cross, and a little below in the bottom a sepulchre. So I saw in my dream that just as Christian came up with the cross, his burden loosed from off his shoulders and fell from off his back, and began to tumble, and so continued to do, till it came to the mouth of the sepulchre, where it fell in, and I saw it no more. Then was Christian glad and lightsome, and said with a merry heart, He hath given me rest by his sorrow, and life by his death.